probably forward.
Yeah.
So he's not going to see anything. Usually they say once you see weight loss, it's already too late. Like you already have to.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Can you tell the difference with 2 pounds on horse by eye?
This is what I call roofing. When it starts to look like a peak of a roof. And then see, it's not that bad yet, but see, you can see it on Piper. Piper actually has it, where it looks like an M. His is not that bad, but Piper's is pretty bad. Those are the two things that I look at for body condition to where I say, okay, this horse needs a little bit of weight. Like Piper's probably more in the 70-pound need. He doesn't even get grain anymore. Maybe supplement, maybe a quarter of a scoop more. You know? So maybe give him a quart and a half of senior and then a half of, if you were trying to keep him on the senior. Like, how old is he? Yeah. Because once senior horses start to lose weight, it's hard to get it back on them.
He's getting the same amount of hay as he's getting in normal weight. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I would supplement with maybe just, and like just try a quarter scoop for, 2 weeks and see if you start to notice at least maintenance. Because I'm going to say if you keep it at the level that you're at, you're going to see him drop. And then you're going to regret not upping him. But if you do it for, say, 2 weeks and then you at least see he's maintaining it, you can probably get away with just keeping it at that and you'll see it come back. Because you don't want to put weight on him fast. But I would definitely say he needs a little increase in something. Because I feel this is all backbone. He should have something going on here. Like, that's a handle. Oh, I would say so, sure. I would be reluctant to want to ride this bareback. But one of the things we can do to help him to build some muscle on his back is we could do what we did with Wiley and teach him the head down. Because notice how right now, when you just put his head down, how he'll come up in his back, and that'll help him muscle up his back. But since we already did it with Wiley, why don't I have you teach him today by yourself? We're going to do it. My camera only gets from here this way. So I can change it to where we're right in front of it, it's fine, or we can play over here. So do you remember what I did to teach Wiley the head down? Yep. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to actually stand directly next to him, and you're going to raise the line up like this, and you're going to create tension. So be like strong tension. And then you're going to wait for him to hold the rein tight. So I'm going to show you what it's going to feel like. So pull up on me, pull up. Now when you feel him go like this, you're going to release. Okay? So as soon as yes. So if you're pulling up on me, you don't feel it. But as soon as he does that, yes. And you want to make sure that release is in that instant so he can get the right answer. So that's your yes. So when you say, put your head down, put your head down, put your head down, and he goes like this, and you say yes. You can even just drop the rein if you want. If you think your timing can't be perfect, just let go of the rein completely. I usually say the word or words, head down, because I want them to respond to that once I tell them to do it on a circle from a distance from me. So I want them to have what it means verbally as well. So what I do, and it's repetitive, it's like a broken record, head down, but you're going to do it rhythmically. Head down, head down, head down, head down. As soon as he tries, you're going to release and you can stop saying head down. Then you can pet him or whatever and just give him a little mental break. Then you're going to ask him to do it again. So go ahead and see if you can ask him to put his head down. No, I've said it a bunch of times now. He just happened to. So. So if he picks his head up, that's the wrong answer. So you definitely want to just go with him. He might even back up to try to get you to stop. So that's him just looking for an answer. Good, good, good. Yeah, I give him a second because that's exactly the end result we're looking for. So just give him a second. Let him know that's what we were looking for. Even though he did it by accident. Doesn't matter. They can learn by accident. Okay. Yep, because he's just pawing. He's not. So yep. So ask him to head down. So he'll probably put his head up. He'll try to back up and just stay with him. Yep, stay with him. Yeah. Yes. Good. Good. So go ahead and ask him again. Because that's all anxiety. That's him. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah? Yeah? So we're not going to allow that. We're going to tell him that that's not acceptable. So what we'll do, anytime he goes to rub on you like that, you're just going to give him a little karate chop on the nose and make him yield away. If he comes back, you're going to just, so he'll see now he just told us, okay, that made sense. Good. And then reward him. So anytime you want to talk to them, for example, I told him, move your head away from me. And then when he maintained it, is when I told him he did a good job. So anytime that you want to communicate something, you want to make sure that they understood it. So like if I say, move your head away from me, and then I'm going to let him know that that was all I wanted. So I'm not just a jerk, because otherwise I'm just karate chopping him in the nose for the heck of it. But I'm doing it because I'm trying to tell him something. So I'm saying, put your head away from me. Good job. Now if I wanted it to go even further, I can ask him to go even further. Good job. Even further. Good job. And by petting him, I'm saying, see, I'm not trying to be a jerk, I'm trying to talk to you. Okay, go ahead, tell him to put his head down. Good? Good. So, and that's good. So what I want to do is anytime he comes and rubs on you like that, that's him coming up with another answer, but it's also him kind of telling you. Okay? So we're not going to reward that which you didn't, and we're just going to hold strong until we get what we're looking for. Now what we are looking for is a straight head down, straight. So until he does that, which is when you released, you did everything exactly, but I just didn't tell you that in advance. So we've had opportunity to see what we don't want and then what we do want. So go ahead and ask him to put his head down. If he rubs on you, don't change anything. Good. Ask again. Don't let him, no, you released. See, did you feel how you got loose? Yeah. So that can help him believe he's supposed to do that. Yep. Good. Again. Good. Now at first, I'm going to allow him to have it with his head turned. We do want it straight, but he was distracted, so it's fine. It was better than him throwing it at you. So go ahead and ask him to put his head down again. Good. Good boy. Ask him to do it again. Good boy. Ask him to do it again. Good. Ask him to do it again. So now we're going to be particular about one air. Ask him to do it again. Don't let him do that. Yep. So now what we're going to do is our goal is going to be to get him to put his head down as low as his fetlocks, which are right here. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to say head down. When he goes to offer it, we're going to release enough to say you're right. And then we're going to take tension gently again to say, but I would like you to do a little bit more. When he does offer more, you're going to say, that's right. But if it's not where we want it, you're going to say, but I'd like you to try a little bit more. So we're just going to keep asking. We're going to keep telling him, yes, you're looking for the right plate. So hotter and colder game. But we want to make sure that as soon as he gets that reward for trying, we're going to quickly say, but I'd like a little bit more. Not quickly, like abruptly, but we're going to just go right back to saying, but I'd like a little more. Yes? Good. Now gently ask for him to put it back where he had it. Good. Ask, yep. Good. Good. Now see how he's got somewhat of an idea of, oh, wait a minute. You leave me alone when I keep it this way. So we're teaching him his responsibility. So by telling him to put it back down, we're teaching him his responsibility. So go ahead and ask him again, and we're going to kind of like stay with it until his head is, until his nose is at least to his knees. Good? So try to make the release just a release of tension instead of a drop away. Yep. So he can figure out that there's more to it. Yeah. Yep. Good boy. Now leave him there for a second. Now ask him to put it back down gently. So it's kind of like, yep, good. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Leave him alone for a second. If his head comes back up, we're just going to gently say, I'd like you to bring it back down. So he's understanding now. His responsibility is my head's supposed to be down. He doesn't know where yet. We haven't given him like a mark yet. But he does understand that you'll leave him alone if his head is low. So now we're going to give him a mark. We're going to say, I'd like it down to your knees. So you're going to very gently take the tension and ask him to put it a little bit lower. Yeah? Good. 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 Ask him to put it back. So now we're just going to be particular and say, we did have a plan. Good. Leave it there. Good. 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 Now, you're going to give him a little rub and take him for a walk. You're going to release him from kind of all the mentalness of it. Sometimes they get stuck in a puzzle, and then it's really hard for them to kind of detach themselves from the puzzle. But now, as you come back, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do it again, and he should get it actually quite quickly. And you're going to be particular about where you want his head. You want his head at least to his knees. Good. Make sure when you re-ask, it's gentle. Good. Good. Now gently say, no, you're a little bit higher than I'd like. Yes. Yep. So try to make the release like just a soft release instead of a full drop. Yes. Good. Up. Yep. Good. Good. Ask again. So we can just be particular, so that we can help him find the spot. So, yes, leave him there. Oh. Yep, ask him to head down again. Good. Ask him to head down again. Yep, leave him there. Perfect. Rub him, take him for a walk before he undoes it. So the trick too is to reward them and then move on quickly so that they don't have a chance to come up with a different answer. And you'll see as you start teaching him things, because he doesn't know this clearly, you're teaching this to him. So as you teach things to him, you're going to become his best partner. Okay, that's why I didn't want to do it. He's going to be kind of like your horse to play with, right? So I'd rather him believe in you than have me be his, than have me be his teacher. Okay. So what I want, you're doing a good job. The only thing that I want to change is when you release to say you're doing the right thing, but I need you to go a little bit further. The snap keeps dropping. I would rather see it, no, stop that. You're rude. I'd rather see it kind of loose and then back. And it's not back like clunk, it's, oh boy, head down. Head down. Head down. So I'm just going to help him. Okay? See how I went with him? I kept a gentle tension to say keep looking, and then when he was where I wanted, I released. So now you can actually ask him, Al. So now you can gently ask him with just maintaining kind of a pressure, but a releasing pressure, if that makes sense. Yep. Good. Perfect. Good. Okay, so do you want to teach him how to do that now on a circle? Do you think he needs to learn how to go on a circle first? So we got to make sure that we're not going to ask him for something that he doesn't know how to do. We're going to have to teach him. He's thinking about rolling. No, you're not going to roll. You're not going to roll. Not now. Yeah, I mean, up to you, but I wouldn't just because he's supposed to be learning. He's sort of thinking about it. Yeah, that is something you want to change too. He's told you we're going over there, and he said, "Come with me. Come with me. We're going over here. We're going over here." So now that stuff needs to stop too. That's rude. Very rude. Yeah. So just make your personal space important to you. You know, because that's like me coming over and being like, "So what's up, Christopher?" You know, it's just rude. You know, and we need him to not think he's allowed to be rude. Okay. Yeah, like he said, I'm going over there, and he's like, "You're coming with me." Like, okay. So let's assume he doesn't know how to back up, and let's see if we can ask him to back up. That's going to be another thing we're going to have to teach him to help him with. Back up. So we're going to use just one word, back. And we're going to wiggle the rope. We're going to take, you have more leverage with more rope than you do tight. Back. Even more rope. Yep. There, even that. Yep. Back. Yep. And now turn the volume up. Back. Yep, you don't have, your verbal doesn't have to get louder. Just this can get louder. Yep. Back. Yep. Back. Now, as soon as he starts to lean in his body, you're going to try to take it down a notch just to let him know he got the answer. Or at least he's on the right page. Back. So he's completely clueless, but now it's in his hocks. Back. Is where he's the message, he's kind of got an idea what you're looking for. So now get that snap even louder. Good. No, it's okay. Back. Yep. Even louder. Back. Yep. Back. Yep. Back. And stop. Now he's looking and chewing to say, okay, I think I did something right. So now go ahead and start off at like a volume 2. So you can start off nice and gentle again. And then you're going to bring your volume back up as he does not respond. So, yep. Now get louder. Yep. Get louder. Yep. Keep going. Yep. He thought about it, but it stopped. And yep, he's thinking about it. It's in that hind leg, but it hasn't moved yet. Yep, keep going. That hind right leg is thinking about it. Keep going. Yep, mean it. Yep, and stop. You always want to offer them the best deal. So the best deal is always going to be nice and quiet at first, and then get louder. Because horses learn what happens before what they don't like. So they'll be like, oh, wait a minute, I've seen that before, and you get really nasty about it, so I'm going to do this. So if you teach him that he has a better deal, and you always offer him the better deal, he's going to always respond to the better deal. Right now he's in the teaching phase, so he has to learn how bad it'll get, basically. This stuff we want to fix too. Because I don't like creepers, and you told him to back up, and he's already come back to you 2 full steps, like 2 full body steps. So I didn't want to make you do anything about it when he first did it, but what you're going to do now is if you told him to back up, you're going to draw an imaginary box around him, and you're going to tell him to back into that box, and then you're going to tell him, stay there. And you're going to try really hard to watch all the muscles on his body, and as soon as he leans over his knees, you know he's thinking about coming forward. So you're just going to gently say, I wouldn't do that. If he does come forward, he says, I told you I wouldn't have done that. So you warned him, and then he came anyway. And now he can be punished for it, because the wrong answer has to be comfortable for them to learn. So what you want to do is you want to be able to say, I wouldn't do that, and have him go, and when you see him rock back off his knees, then you relax. So let's see if we can put him, He should go back 2 steps. We have to do it because he's learning it. He has to do it 1 step at a time. So ask him to back those 2 steps away from you. If you back up, don't back up, because if you back up, he wins. So if you have to get louder, you can, if you ever played that game with a towel, where you snap somebody with a towel, you can use the end of that line and snap him in the chest, but try to be dead center of his chest so he can understand it's a straight, that kind of thing. Get as loud as you need to. So it's in one hawk. And stop. Good. Now ask for another one, because you want to get him 1 step further back. The squirrel, you can handle it. Good. Good. And good timing on your release. That was perfect timing on your release. You were able to say, you're right. So now, see from there, you don't move your feet. He needs to back away from you 1 more step. First real best deal possible. And then go ahead and start turning the volume up. And you'll see your volume only probably goes half of what it was because he's starting to understand it. Yep, keep going, that's evasion. Yep, keep going, and stop. Good, now you're in your imaginary box. Okay? Take all the tension out of your body, look relaxed, look like you're just hanging out. Good. If he leans up over his knees, you're going to tell him, I wouldn't do that. And you're going to do that real gently. If he stays there, now you're going to do this like in increments, like as you play with him by yourself, you're going to do this in increments of time. You're going to, so like say, I would be proud of him. He's considering moving, but he hasn't really committed to it yet. You see how he's got a slight lean in my direction, but it's crossing his mind, but he hasn't done it. So yeah, now he's thinking about it pretty hard. But he hasn't done it. Good. Now what I would do is I'd go up and I'd give him a little rub and I'd release him, tell him okay. I always say okay when I take a horse out of a stand stay, and then walk him away. Good. What you can do is you can increase your time to the point to where, like if you ever do sit stay with a dog, it's the same thing. You can increase your time, but if you expect him to stay there for half an hour, that's not fair. So build on your time. When you get where you want to stop, go ahead and stop. Ask him to back up and wait, he's got an itch. I always let them get their itches. Okay. When you choose, go ahead and tell him to back out of your space, because this is one of the things he has to learn, because he definitely has a personal space problem. Much better. Good. Slight evasion, but I'm still happy with it. And what I mean by that is he kind of came my way instead of straight back. Go ahead. Yep. You're going to ask him to get the same distance he was from you before. Yep, now turn the volume up. You'll see he'll start cutting that in half too. You won't need as much volume. Yep. If the snap's moving when you initially ask, you're asking too loud. You can take the volume up, but when you initially ask if the snap's moving, it's too loud. Yeah, take the volume up to as high as you have to make the point. And stop. Good. So now the other thing is you see how you're maintaining this position? When he does what you want and you're releasing and giving him the benefit of the doubt that that's as far as you want to be able to go relax very quickly. So that you can, because this is very active. So you want to make sure that he can understand. Stop. Tell him, put that foot back, put that foot. So that's the wrong answer. So now it's like a big deal. Like you're mad at him, kind of. Yep, till he puts that foot back. And stop. He's thinking about coming again. Good, we'll leave him there. Now we're going to ask for another deliberate step backwards, because that was corrective. So now we're going to ask him for another deliberate step backwards. If the snap's moving when you first start, it's too loud. There you go. Yep. Now start bringing the volume up. Yep. Mean it. And stop. Good. Up. He brought 2. Yep. And stop. Good. Now you go relax. See how your hand's still out there? Yeah. Now you're in your stand stay. You can say stand if you want to offer him a verbal command, so that way he always knows that this is what he's been told to do. And we're just going to wait, because this is a big thing for him. I've noticed that he's a big creeper. Go up and pet him, release him, tell him okay, and walk off. So this is the beginning of what we're going to teach him next. So there, you've taught him head down and back up all by yourself. I don't even have a job anymore. Yeah, yeah. Well, and you're a good student, so we're not sitting here for 4 hours trying to do one backup step. It's happened. Okay, so go ahead and ask him. What we're going to do now, instead of the backup again, is we're going to ask, notice too, did we notice anything that's changed since we started talking to him? It's going to start again in a second though, because we're... Right. Once we're starting to have a conversation, some of that other crap goes away. Okay. So we're going to, now he's going to do it again now, because we're not talking to him anymore. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to tell him to step his front feet that way. Now, logically speaking, we would think point that way. But if you watch, I'm just going to show you, watch where that rope, if I point that way, where's he going to go? He's going to go to me. So, what I want to do is I want to point behind him. I want him to believe I just said, look at that. And I want him to be like, what? Okay? I want him to think like he's supposed to look over his shoulder. So I would point to one of those two beams, not even to the V. Even to the V is not far enough. And then it's obviously not connected to his nose. It's just a suggestion. I'm giving him a suggestion to follow. Then I'm going to tell his nose to follow my suggestion by holding. I can put a knot in it, which I've been doing for a lot of people. It just helps them understand the length that you need. You need about 12 inches. No. I have a bunch that have knots in them, but I don't think this one did. So like that, see how he turned his nose? He did it because he saw something, but you can still take advantage. Anytime something happens by mistake, if it's to your advantage, take advantage of it. So his nose, I want his nose to turn. So my focus, so you need to make mental pictures. What would it look like if his nose was turned that way? Okay, you have that picture in your mind. What would it look like if his whole neck turned that way? I have that picture in my mind now. What would it look like if his leg crossed over in front or behind? Okay, so the image that you need to give him is a mental image. You actually need to give him that picture, what it looks like to you. And then you're going to tell him, I want your nose to look over there. And you're going to give him the impression that his nose, so we can't fly the plane until the nose is pointed in the right way. So we need his nose pointed where we need his nose pointed. So I'm just going to tell him, you better turn your nose. Yep. And I'm going to release him. And then the next thing is that you better turn your neck. Then I'm going to release him. So all this stuff has to stop per stage, okay? Once we've gotten his nose and his neck thinking about it, if you see any kind of activity here in his chest, then I want you to put your focus on his shoulder right here, and that's going to communicate to his legs what you want his legs to do. And what we want his legs to do is we want his legs to go like this, or like this, or a really dramatic straddle step. Okay?
Is there a verbal command?
Nope. You're going to stand directly in front of him, and you're going to point to one of those two beams, and now your focus is going to be on getting his nose. Now his nose turned. Good. So now you're going to put your focus back over to the two beams, and you're going to do the rope up and over, because see, if you go under, you can clip him, and especially if he's at a boyhood thing. So, and then you want to always do it up and over. See how you just took more line? I just took it away from you. I'm going to give you a knot. Okay, so hold the knot so you have the amount of support you need. Yep. So focus on his nose to turn. This is going to be your plan, is to get his nose to turn. Give him the impression that you're expecting his nose to turn. So now, see how this is swinging kind of up and over by his eye? We want it to swing almost at his nose. So we can be out here with it if we want. Yep. Until his nose. So just your whole goal is to get his nose. And this can take a long time. It can go very quickly. Good. Now, as he starts to give his nose even more, you're going to go ahead and release, just so you can say, yeah, see, that's all I was trying to say. See how you just creeped right up that line over that knot? Go on the other side of the knot.
Got it.
Yep. Tell his nose where you want his nose to go. It doesn't matter how long this is taking. It's not you. And it just doesn't. Now give him what I call a little bump. You're going to ask him to open his window. It's kind of like when you're in traffic and you want to tell somebody their taillight's out. You're going to go and give him a little tap. So when I say give him a little bump, you're going to say, excuse me. You're going to ask him to open his window for you. Well, no, you can do it with the, yeah. Just do it from there, yeah. But that's what you want it to look like. Yep. Yep. Yep, there you go. Now, good, quick. Good.
So Kirsten, would he pet him right now?
Nope.
That's what I would ask you.
No, because we're not where we're trying to go yet.
Okay.
So we're telling him he's on the right page.
The right page is stopping.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're not telling him he got the right answer yet. So it's kind of like the warmer, colder game.
Okay.
You're above the knot again. Yep, yep. Now put your focus on his shoulder and don't stop. So keep him in the, yep, and then put your focus and your support on his shoulder. Yep.
And I love you.
Wiggle. Wiggle so he doesn't go forward, because remember we're telling him not to go forward. Yep. Back him up now. So now it changed into that back up. It's okay. Go ahead, back. Back. Mean it. Mean it, because it's totally the wrong answer. And one more. One more. It's half-hearted. I don't know what you remember what you called it, but give him that shot to the chest. Say, hey, excuse me. Good. Good. Now, he's thinking about coming right back, so tell him no. So then, it's okay. So your no, he's not going to understand that verbally, so your no is going to be a wiggle to say no. Yes. So now your focus is back on put your nose over there, put your nose over there. Yep, give him a little, that's how you tap on his window and say, excuse me, could you open your window? I want to tell you your tail light's out. Yep, yep, good, there, yep. Yep. Now you can even give him a bigger, since that's really not getting him to go, I'm sorry, what do you want? Oh, there you go. It can happen by accident. Yep, keep going. So now it's all about, you want him to rock back and move his shoulder over towards that door. So you're going to get him, yep, get him to think that you're telling him to. It's all going to be like how you project this to him. Yep. Now if you have to, I'm going to let you tap that shoulder. Go ahead and tap that shoulder. Yep. Yep, good. Yep, good. Now, good. Good. Now, keep going, keep going. We're going to tell his feet to move now. Yep. So go ahead and start bringing it into that shoulder. Yep, and now if you have to, you're going to tap that shoulder and say, follow your nose, and yep, keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't quit him yet. He hasn't done it yet. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yep, he did it. Stop. It was half-hearted, but he did it. So we have to tell him he did a good job. So that was our final destination. So we want to make sure that every time we get to where we're trying to go, we reward him then. We always tell them, yes, you're right, you're thinking the right thing, you're thinking the right thing, anytime that they make the little efforts, but until they get to the final destination, we don't reward them. Like, we don't go up and love on them. Okay. Go ahead and ask them to do that again. We're going to fix that. We're not going to allow that anymore. Yep. Yep. Get him out of your personal space. Say, excuse me, you're very rude. Get out of my personal space. Yep. He says, really? Did you mean it? So you say, yeah, I think I meant it. There you go, good. So that's going to be a big project for you to get him to stay out of your personal space. And always be careful though, because you almost did it. After you tell him to leave, don't accidentally pull him back.
And he's licking and chewing, right? Which means, okay, I understand your question.
Something made sense. Doesn't necessarily mean what you did made sense, but something about that made sense. For us to be able to say specifically that me backing away, oh, okay, I get it. That's not, but it means something made sense. You released on something.
Okay.
He'll probably start yawning, because usually when we really get in their brains, when their brains are kind of idle, they yawn a lot when you finally start really talking to them. Okay, point back to the same area that you were, yep. So first his nose, yep. See, now, you notice how his head came up, he kind of came alive right away. He's like, oh, wait a minute, you were trying to tell me something. So that's the good thing about him finally, now, yep. And now we're going to say, you got it once, so I'm going to go ahead and tap your shoulder right away and say, excuse me, I'm talking to you. Yep, yep, good, good, good. And keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. No, don't stop, keep going. Till you get what you're looking for. It's like a crossover. You're going to ask him, yep, yep, yep. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. He's backing up. That's the wrong answer. Keep going, keep going. He's backing up. That's the wrong answer. Keep going. And stop. Good boy. And he did perfect at the end. Good job.
Just a slight crossover.
Yep. It's okay if they do little efforts right now because he's still learning. So, and what's going to happen as you start to really work with him in certain things, you're going to notice that as he's asking you, they ask you in hesitations. So he may go, is this what you want? I'm not sure. He's not being bad by being slow. He's asking while he's moving. Yes, you are. Okay. Go ahead and ask him to do it again. Yes, yes, yes. Yep, yes, yes. And stop. Good. Now, see, you pulled him right back. The only thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't say go, don't go. That's kind of what happened to Rain, why she's so upset. So you want to make sure if you say go, and since he doesn't know, we only want this. He says, you told me to go, so maybe I'm supposed to leave. Until we can explain it to him that he's not supposed to leave, we have to let him make that mistake because we didn't explain it any different. Okay, so if he were to walk off, that's okay. We're going to let him walk off. Okay, so go ahead, and plus, try to make your energy a little bit quieter, and I'm going to have you stand a little bit further away. Because it worked pretty good for you because you were right up on him. So now we want to make sure that the communication is like a telephone line instead of in person, okay? So go ahead and point to the post that's near the mirror, because you guys changed positions. Good, no, you got way up against him, so get back a little bit, yep. Now, yep. Yep, see, he's already understanding it, good, good, yep. Now, yep, go ahead and tell his shoulder. Yep. Good. And keep going, because he thinks back up, keep going, he's still thinking back up. Yep, and stop. Good, it's okay if he leaves, remember? Right, because then you're making him wrong for doing what you just told him to do. Because he doesn't know it doesn't involve walking. You should have just dropped it or, allowed him to take it from you. Okay, because otherwise you said go, don't go, and that's not fair. Okay? Okay, so what happened too is as you got more into telling him, you went from where I said to stand, right back up on him. Okay, so I want you to try to stay that distance and have the communication from a long distance and not come all the way in there. And if you watch, you can make this rope. It's going to be hard next to him. You can make, so you're starting here at the knot, go boy. He like that, so I'm not going to make him wrong for that. But you can take this and make it longer by opening your hand. So you don't have to get right up under him. You can just make it longer by opening your hand and allowing it to get longer. So I can stay here and still reach his shoulder. I don't have to get right up on top of him. Yes, you're a good boy, yes. Yep, he's got it already, good. Yes. Yep, there you go. Yep, and, he backed up, keep going. Because we don't want to, if we release on that, then all the times he tried to back up, he was told no, and now keep going. Now he's thinking about something with his back feet, keep going. Now you can move in. You can move in as he goes backwards, but just only take the same steps he takes. Yep, yep, keep going, yep, yep. Keep making sure you tell him what to do with his nose, yep, yep. And stop. Good, let him leave. Yes, good. Good. Go pet him now, because you can tell him now that he did what you looked for. And now he'll probably look at you while you're petting him so that he can be like, oh, okay, I get it, I get it. So he already knows his nose and his head need to turn. As soon as you take that stance, he turns his head. So now we need him to say, oh, that means something with my feet too. Ho. Good boy. Okay, so keep the distance from him that you're supposed to. Yep. Yep. Good. He already knows. Good. Yep. Yep. And yep. Stay with him. 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 Keep pointing. Yep. 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 Stay with him. Yep. If he leaves, we want to. Yep. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Don't forget to keep pointing. And stop. Good. Good boy. Good. Okay, so I'm going to just explain it to him so he can be real crisp and know not to leave. I just want to show you where, if it's real crisp, he'll get it. So I'm going to tell him, now I'm going to point at that jump stand, and I'm going to tell him, I want your nose to go that way. And my energy can be way out here, okay? Now I'm going to tell him, I want your neck to follow that. And now I'm going to tell him, I want your shoulder to follow that. And he's allowed to leave. See, my hand's completely open. Now he's going to check in with me. And he was a little nervous because he didn't know if he did it right. So that's why when I went to pet him, he said, oh, should I dodge that? So I'm going to tell him to back up. Back up. I'm going to tell him to put his nose over there. Good. Good. Perfect. That was perfect. Good. You did it. That was absolutely perfect. So now he's got this blank, starey, now he finally blinked. He had this blank, starey look in his eye, like he wasn't breathing, right? So we want to make sure that we can let them understand that what we just did made sense, and it's just a communication. Yes. Yeah. There. Now he softened. See how he started to blink? So you want to always stay with them when they're having a hard time like that. Because he had a hard time because my energy is very straight. While you're learning it, your energy is still figuring your own body out and what you're supposed to do. So it was slightly confusing to him, but you were getting there for sure. Like I've had really good luck with you so far. Let's just say. Okay. So first you're going to point, then you're going to show him your support, which is going to just be out to your side. Yep. Then you're going to move it out at your side. You can tell his nose, now this is your focus. Yep, 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 yep. Make sure that you point in the direction you want him to go. Yep. Stay more in front of him than off to the side of him. Yep, and he thought about it, but backing up is what he thinks with you for some reason. Yep, and quit. Good, let him go. Good. Now, his ears just said, oh, did I do it right? Okay, did you see how his ears kind of went out to the sides? That's total worry. So we want to make sure that we always reassure them when they're worried so that they can say, because he's even still worried. He's like, oh. So we want to make sure that they always are secured in that moment, you know. Yep, say, good boy, let him know that he did a good job. Okay, try one more. So first show him your support. See how your support came out kind of loud and he got real worried? And he didn't do it. He just started walking. Okay? So we want to make sure that so we're going to wiggle to say, no, it's not just go forward. We actually want you to cross over and go away from us. So if he goes forward, you're going to wiggle to say, no, it's not a go forward. It's not a go forward. And then go back to telling him what it is. Yep, there you go. There, stop. Good. And be careful, too, when you let go of the line that you don't create a downward feel on it, like a drop, because you don't want it to create any kind of movement on that snap, because he may be like, I thought I was... So I would almost keep my hand just soft and allow him to take it if he's going to leave, as opposed to dropping it, because that creates something on that line. Okay, let's try one more. And then this time we are going to ask him to go. Ask him to back out of your space. We want to keep him practicing that. Mean it? Yep, good. Back up again. One more step. So in other words, you want him to create that distance between the two of you so you can have this conversation from a distance. So now where would you point? Because we're in a totally different angle. If you're dead in front of him, because see, you're already coming more on this side of him, stay dead in front of him, where would you point? What are you pointing at? I'm just... Yep, that's good. I would even, yep, that's good. Or that metal post next to the other tree. You want him to think he's supposed to look behind himself. Yep, don't get closer. Yep, perfect. Yep. That might be why he thinks back up, because it might be too much, but knocking on it.